Hi, my name is Angelica Harcharon. My major is education, and it is my second semester here at Queensborough. Good afternoon, everyone. I had the honor of interviewing Miss Ellen Zilka, who is with us here today. Thank you for coming. Miss Ellen was born in October 1928 in Berlin, Germany. Miss Ellen attended school because her brother was too young. A sweet memory during Miss Ellen's school was, in the summer, everyone had to stay in their uniform, which made it extra hot. They had to keep their hats on because they knew a teacher was taking the same route with them. When the teacher passed by, they quickly took their hats off. Miss Ellen enjoyed being with people. Her favorite memory of school was being on the sports team. She became an umpire and had tennis matches with other schools. Miss Ellen enjoyed being with people. Her favorite memory of school was being on the sports team. Her least favorite memory of school was the long commute, which was quite a distance from where she lived in England. Miss Ellen had memorable memories of visiting her family on her mother's side in Berlin, Cologne, but it was terribly bombed during the war. She said life was good until the Nazis came and the laws became very strict. On her father's side, he had one sister in Eastern Germany, and Miss Ellen would visit her sister once a year during the holidays. Miss Ellen lived in a cottage in England. Two were attached into one house, and the third had an English family that were evacuated from London. Because of the bombing, the daughter living there was of the same age as Miss Ellen, so she traveled with her during the commute to school. On weekends, Miss Ellen would walk to dance performances. It was so rural that there was no electricity and no indoor plumbing because England was busy being at war, so all the projects were stuck. Miss Ellen had to drop her middle name because she didn't want to advertise it. She had to give up her apartment by force because she was Jewish. She had to share an apartment with another family. In England, people who came from Europe were called refugees. Miss Ellen was treated very well, like novelties. Teachers went out of their way to respect their religion and customs. For example, in school, a religious service followed in the morning by the Jewish children. They were excused from attending, which I found very respectful. When the war ended in England, she remembered D-Day, when America and the British invaded, in June 6th. Miss Ellen heard airplanes in the air on a morning going to school. She knew it was coming to an end and the signs of surrender. Miss Ellen came with the Kinder transport. When Hitler first came to power, he didn't want any Jews in Germany. In fact, he encouraged them to leave around 1933. A few people said it was a passing thing, that nothing was going to happen. But her father been in World War I. Laws became worse, and it became harder to get out that no one couldn't imagine what Hitler was going to do. Many were not able to receive their visas to get out of Germany. Then came November 9, 1939, the Kristallnacht. Then many realized things would get bad. This was a time when Nazi Germany's first large-scale physical act of anti-Jewish violence begins. This is when Miss Ellen moved to the center city. Somehow, a close relative close to her mother applied for Miss Ellen and her brother to go to the Kinder transport in June 1939. Her brother, who was 5 years old, was sent to a Jewish family that no children in the north of England called Derby, and Miss Ellen came to a retired hospital administrator. She was very kind and made arrangements to have a girl who was the daughter of a Jewish couple to spend the school year with her. Miss Ellen visited her brother every year at Passover, during spring and Easter vacation, by train. Hearing about the Nazis, Miss Ellen was a child, 5 or 6 years old. There was no TV, but heard Hitler's ravens on the radio and in the streets. The parents did not take it seriously. In November 9, 1939, her father was sent to a concentration camp, but he came back. When World War II started, Miss Ellen received a postcard saying that they were sent east of Germany. When the mail stopped, she found out her parents were shot. taken in the hands of the Nazis. During this time, people made many inquiries through the Red Cross. Miss Ellen taught me the term of sacrifice and what her parents did for her. Her brother went through a lot of things. He lived a very unhappy life. But he had many ideas. Even though he was laid off from his job, he had a terrible divorce. But this all contributed to his unhappiness. At the age of 73, he took his own life and committed suicide. Miss Ellen is very brave. That is why she is a survivor. A quote that I will leave with everyone today is by Elie Wiesel, which is, "Without memory, there is no culture. Without memory, there will be no civilization, no society, or no future." I just want to thank Miss Marissa for giving me the opportunity for this internship. I learned a lot of information. It was a great experience, and I want to thank Miss Ellen for coming because she taught me to always cherish your family and to be a good person. And she taught me to keep the memory alive and appreciate what you have.
I want to thank Angelica. We had a long discussion and interview, and she was the best prepared student I've ever had, and charming. And I got a bonus because her brother also came, and he had experiences, and we exchanged ideas. And Angelica's mother's here. Where are you? And I thank her for coming. And you should be proud of both of your children. Thank you, dear.
So we want to give you your certificate and...
Mom, why don't you come up?
Why not?
Okay. Each one of you is going to get a citation, but some of these internships have been set up in memory of people who we've worked with, people who are survivors. And this particular internship was set up in memory of Sally Sachs. Now, those of you who are survivors all know Sally. Just a few brief words about Sally. Sally died 2 years ago. She came from Poland, lost her entire family, went through a series of concentration camps. She was probably, I won't say probably, she was the toughest woman I have ever met, both emotionally and physically. I always told people that if I sat down at the table and Sally said, "Put your arm up like this and we'll arm wrestle," she would pin me without a second thought. She was that strong. But when Sally's true feelings came out about how she resisted was when one of our instructors, Professor Lorraine Capelli from the nursing department, brought in a group of nursing students to meet with our survivors, for these survivors to tell them what there was like, what stress is like, what trauma is like. Sally said something. She said, "You speak to the people around here and you will fully understand how much pain the human body could stand." So you will understand how much pain and suffering the human body could stand. She's an amazing woman, and her children, who are not able to be here today, have endowed this. So let's take a picture. Dr. Call, would you like to?